There is nothing like free lunch, right? You get something, you lose something. I mean, if you take that definition of vibe coding and you don't know what is going on, then it is going to get like massive tech debts. I built this in 4 hours and now people are using it and giving me feedback. Hey everyone, my name is Joel and I've been working with Key Value for the past 4 years. Here I've been building products in both the backend and also in the AI space, and I tinker around with latest tools and I build products on the side. So the term vibe coding was coined by Andrej Karpathy. He is one of the founding members of OpenAI. And the idea behind vibe coding is that you completely give into the vibes of the LLM models. So you accept all changes, and then if there is an issue, you ask the LLM, the AI tools to actually fix it. And this has become a really big trend in the valley and a buzzword everywhere. So Prashant, our CTO, has actually discussed this with us. Okay, there is something called as vibe coding, and there is a lot of AI tools out there. So how can we actually bring that to life here? So what can we do? So we decided to do a vibe coding hackathon. So that's how Vibeathon came out to be. And the idea was clear that, okay, we wanted to get people familiar with the coding tools, the AI tools. We wanted to know what was actually possible and what is not possible, what are the challenges of it. And that's why we decided to do the Vibeathon, and especially the first Vibeathon was build a replica of things. So that way we are actually focused on getting that output done. So for Vibeathon 1, we build a Book My Show clone. So we have multiple AI tools like Cursor, Lovable, Bolt, Cloud Code. So the idea behind vibe coding hackathons is, okay, let's explore these tools and see what is actually possible and most importantly, what is not. So that was the theme. And we decided to create a clone of an existing product. So instead of hackathons typically focusing on the pain point and revenues and GTM strategies, we could actually focus on building using AI tools. So with that aim in mind, the theme was to replicate a product, and then we decided to go with Book My Show. Yeah, we did have a preparation. So if you're coming to the hackathon and then trying to set up Lovable and GitHub for the first time, I think you're going to hit some roadblocks. So we did have a plan. We decided on the tools that we were going to use, and then we set up the entire configurations. And then we also had a pilot run of how we are going to use these tools. And then we actually went into the hackathon of executing everything. So that was our plan. Okay, so to crank out everything in 4 hours is a bit challenging. So we had a plan of how we are going to do this. So in the first 2 hours, we decided that we are going to have the entire screens done using Lovable. And then, so because we had a flow of having the movies listing, then we have the show times, then we have to do the seat layouts, then we have to do a checkout. So we decided that in the 2 hours, front end is going to do all the designs, and then we are going to use Cursor to fix all of the minor things here and there. And in the backend, we decided, okay, in this 2 hours, what we can do is I connected to Superbase MCP using Cursor, and then I let Cursor handle the rest. So we decided, I gave screenshots and then decided on the migrations and also API endpoints. And while Cursor is working on that, I would parallelly go and set up the every configuration that is required for Google Auth, and also set up the configurations for Razorpay payments. So I was parallelly doing both. And then once Cursor is done with that, because in vibe coding, you're not actually caring about the code quality. So you completely give into the vibes of LLM, and then you accept all changes. So with that mental model, we were not concerned about the code quality. So accept every changes, and then we had the endpoints and we had the migrations done. Then once we have the configuration done, by the end of the 3rd hour, both the front end and back end was done based on the scope that we have defined. Then in the final hour, it was all about integrations. So we have to integrate all the API endpoints and generate all the assets. Then we have to do the routing and also make sure that after successful payment, we come back to the screen with the ticket. So I think the challenging part was setting up this workflow and then making sure that we could end this in 4 hours. So we had a proper milestones of what we wanted to achieve in each end of each hour. And I think we were close enough on that, and then we were able to close that in 4 hours. Still, there were some bugs and issues, and we also wanted to send notifications to the customer that your ticket has been confirmed, but we couldn't include that in the 4 hours. So I think 90% we were able to cover in that 4 hours. I mean, it depends. If you have your scope narrowed down and you're really clear on what you want to implement, then 4 hours is more than enough. For Book My Show, what we decided was the happy path, and then we were able to pull that off. But if you're going to build a fully fledged app in 4 hours, I don't think so. Absolutely not, because the Book My Show clone that we built, the scope was narrowed down. So there was Google signing, then there was movie listing, the show times, seat layout, checkout, and then showing a notification. We can't go to production with that because it's a very big platform. But we were able to go to production for the second Vibeathon. So in the first Vibeathon, we already had a clear idea of what was the possibilities with these AI tools and what are the limitations of that. In the second Vibeathon, we wanted to push the limits and see if we can actually move things to production. So we decided to build a simple product which solves a simple pain point. So we built Decibel for the second Vibeathon. So Decibel is it's kind of a Spotify wrapper, you can say that. So basically, it democratizes music in social gatherings. So if you think about it, if there is a social gathering, the music is actually played by one person, right? You go to a field trip, cafes, it's mostly played by one person. But music has to become a people's choice. So we built Decibel. So in there, someone can log in and they can create a room and they can share the code. The other people can join the room using the code and they can share the music and it will get added to the playlist. And if someone doesn't like the music, they can actually downvote the music. And if majority downvotes, then we skip to the next song. So we launched Decibel on a field trip. So we were going out for a trip with our colleagues and then we launched it. And it was a surreal experience for me actually, because people were using it and then they were giving me feedback instantly. Okay, they like this one, they don't like this one, they wish they had this feature. But I was thinking, okay, I built this in 4 hours and now people are using it and giving me feedback. Now I can iterate and improve on that. So I think the ability to execute at that pace and then ship it and then get customer feedback and then close that feedback loop to improve on the product, I think that's very valuable. That is the lesson that I learned from it. I mean, if you take that definition of vibe coding and you don't know what is going on, then it is going to get like massive tech debts. The code is going to be messy because I face it. Even when I was building Decibel, I was not very confident in front end, but I completely went into the vibes and then I was able to ship it. But if you ask me to add a new feature on top of it, maybe I can't, or it might take some time. So yes, there will be tech debts, there will be security vulnerabilities, but there is nothing like free lunch, right? You get something, you lose something. So you have to live with the consequences, but you have to have clarity on, okay, what is it that I'm doing, and then make a decision on that. No, vibe code apps are not secure if you're going with the traditional meaning of vibe coding. I mean, you're going to let the LLM do everything right. But if you know what you're doing, then you can take security measures. You can set up authentication permissions. You can keep the keys safe in envs. Don't push that to GitHub. You do the basic things right, then I think vibe coded apps can be secure, but you have to know what you're doing actually to make sure that happens. I would say no, because vibe coding has its place. It's not like the way of coding. It's actually one way of coding. I would say vibe coding is a way where we have to ship something fast, get user feedback, and try to get PMF. If that is the angle that you're looking at, vibe coding would be really nice. But if you have to build something scalable, if you have to do a lot of engineering on top of that, you're going to have multiple teams working on it, then it's not a good standard to do that. But yeah, I think it's not the right way of doing things, but it is a way of doing things. So vibe coding has opened up a new dimension altogether. So it's like people who have an idea right now and they don't know coding, they can actually do vibe coding and build something from scratch. But you have to get your expectations right. Just because you are able to get something live doesn't mean that you are able to move that forward or scale it or add new features to it, because that takes craftsmanship, that takes experience, that takes the knowledge of how things work under the hood. But that being said, I think vibe coding is definitely, it's fun. There is vibe to it, and it has opened up to lot many people to build products. And for those who know coding, this is actually boost in productivity, that I would say. So I think, yeah, it is a fun way of doing things. So the biggest advantage that Key Value has is that we've been building products before LLM, and we are building products from scratch. So we have that foundational knowledge, we have that experience with us. So here we don't literally take the definition of vibe coding and then push it to production. We actually know how to direct the LLMs, how to get the outputs because of that foundational knowledge pre-LLMs. And that has actually made us 10x more productive. So I think that is one of the biggest advantages that Key Value has.